Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Rokta here, back at it again with another amazing video on the channel. So, right on the money, right on schedule, we have a brand new video for you guys. And before we get into it, I just want to say, if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you obliterate the like button to let me know to make more of this. Share your thoughts down in the comment section down below as I reply to every single one. And if you guys are new around here or you enjoy my beautiful face, make sure to subscribe as we are aiming for 5,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. Also, if you guys want to support the channel a bit further or you guys want to meet and duel me, make sure to check out the Discord server links all over the channel. Get yourself in there, get yourself dueling against me. Well, that's enough of me. Let's get straight into the video. So starting off with the deck profile, we have triple of the Argostar's Glorious Adria. I apologize, I only managed to pull 2 from a whole case, but you will be playing 3 in this deck. This card is the centerpiece at the moment for the whole deck. We are getting a new monster in, I believe, the next set. I completely forget the name. However, in the next main set, there will be future support for this deck, hence the title of this video. This deck could see some playability in the future. Right now, yes, you can play it. However, what I mean is you're not going to be getting very far, unfortunately. I think this deck caps out at either the local level, or if you get, really, really good with this deck and you get really favorable matchups, maybe even a regional win here and there. But I think nationals, this deck isn't going to be doing too much, and any event obviously above that, this deck will be struggling. However, let me tell you quickly what this card does, as this card does really, really cool things, to be honest with you. And we want to be seeing this in our hand as often as possible. I built the deck around seeing this card in our hand. It is a Earth level 4 warrior monster, which comes up 1818. Again, that's really good for small world stats. And during your opponent's turn, if you control a continuous trap card, which almost all of your Argostar cards are, you can banish this card from your hand, make the attack of one monster on the field 0 until the end of the turn. You may think, wow, that's actually pretty bad. And you're not wrong. That on its own isn't great. It makes it so that your opponent can't be over one of your traps, which is okay, I guess. And it doesn't target either, which is good, I guess, as well. So you can get around things like that. However, the main reason this effect is useful is because all of our Argostar continuous traps will be gaining a bonus effect if there's a banished Argostar's card, which this does for you, which is really easy. It also has another effect with, if this card is normal summoned, this turn your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your continuous trap cards or their effects. That is really good, obviously, going first. In the future, we will be getting a spell card that lets us normal summon immediately, so we can normal it during our opponent's turn. That means that during our opponent's turn, all of our continuous trap cards just cannot be responded to, which makes this deck really, really cool. However, until then, we're going to be abusing this mostly during our turn only. And its main effect is you can banish this card you control, place up to 2 Argostar continuous traps with different names from your hand and or deck face up in your spell and trap zone. And since they're face up, that means you can immediately activate them. So this is a really good card for the deck, don't get me wrong. You need more, in my opinion, and we are getting more. But until then, you feel when you play this deck that you're lacking a little bit. And, we're going to be getting that support. That's all I can emphasize at the moment. We're going to be getting that support, and this is just a way to play it until then. For the spell cards, because that's the only monster they have, the only spell card they have is the field spell, Argostar's Home Stadium. Why am I playing 3 of this card if it doesn't add a Argostar card from the deck? I don't like when Konami do this. Why do they always do this to the decks that don't deserve it? They make a field spell that rotors. However, it's not a rotor, it's an add from the Graveyard of Banishment. Would it have killed Konami to make this from the deck as well? It wouldn't have, but they decided to do it anyway. So let me read you the effects of this card. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, add an Argostar card from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. That is very good. And none of this card is once per turn, by the way. Like hard once per turn. It's all soft once per turns for the first effect anyway. The other effects aren't even once per turn. So just keep that in mind. And the paying 1,000 is absolutely fine, as you can gain life points every single turn. During yours and your opponent's, you gain 500. So you just do that and you gain 1,000 life points back. It's absolutely fine. Each time a continuous trap in the spell and trap zone is special summoned to your field, you inflict 500 damage to your opponent. This is important because this is how we're going to be killing our opponent. Not as the main condition, but it gets it to opponent's lower life points so that in a battle phase you can threaten lethal. And once per chain, if a continuous trap activates its effect in your monster zone, while you have a banished Argostar monster, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Not monsters, just face-up card. You can negate opponent's field spells and continuous spells with this. This is a really, really good card, guys, because with your traps, you're going to be getting extra value because you're going to be negating stuff along the way as well. So absolutely insane. Speaking of the counter traps, let's get to them. We have triple of the Argostar's Lightning Teardo. This card is one of the better ones when going first, because while this face-up card is in the spell and trap zone, warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. That makes it harder for your opponent to beat over your other traps, and also makes it easier for you to go for game in the battle phase. Another thing this card does is you can discard one card, special summon this card as an effect, warrior light level 4 2000 attack 2000 defense monster with the following effect, that you can add one Argostar's card from your deck to your hand. So that is really, really cool, because you pitch a card, yes, but then you add any Argostar's card for your opponent's turn. Basically, you just set it and you can immediately use it. Also, this will get a lot better with future support because you can search the other monster or even the other spell that's coming out. And all of the Argostar traps share this. I'll only mention it once. Once per turn, quick effect, you can place this card from your face-up field to your spell and trap zone face-up. So that is really important, because with one copy of each, you have infinite plays, because you just summon and then place back, summon and just place back. This means that if you don't want them to be beat over a battle, you don't have to. That means if they're going to try and effect negation your effects, you can just use the effect and then put it back, and they can't negate it no more. So really, really good. The only thing I don't like is that it's still considered a trap. So if they go Lightning Storm and you flip all of these up and you summon them, they're still going to get destroyed if they call back row. So that is really sad, to be honest with you. However, we do have a way to kind of get around that, which I'll show in a bit. For a 2 of here, we have double of the Argostar's Slayer Yugioh. This card is really good. However, you need to basically wait for your opponent, which is what I don't like about it. So yes, you can summon this. While this card is face up in the spell and trap zone, warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it helps basically protect your other continuous traps, means you have to go over by battle, and obviously the Argostars makes the attack 0. So this is how you can sort of let them stick around. However, once per turn when your opponent activates a card or effect, which is the bit I don't like, I wish you could just do it whenever, you can special summon this card as an effect monster with the following effect. And then if you have a banished Argostar's monster, you can return one card on the field to the hand. So it is a compulse for a monster every single turn, as long as your opponent activates something. It'd be a lot better if it was just whenever. However, in response to something is still okay. It's when you need it most, so it's not too bad. I still really like this card. And then we have the Argostar's Swift Campaign, and while this card is face up in the spell trap zone, warrior monsters you control cannot destroy a battle. So everything becomes super sticky, and the opponent is forced to do non-targeting destruction basically to get rid of them, and then you can just chain and put them back. So not too bad. And then once per turn, if a continuous trap is in the monster zone, you can special summon this card as an effect monster. And then if you have a banished Argostar's monster, you gain 500 life. This is not strong at all. However, it's just a free activation. You don't need to discard. The opponent doesn't need to do anything. You just use it as long as there's another continuous trap. And you can trigger your field spell. You can trigger many things. Gain 500 life, which is fine because your field spell pays life. And then just place it back and then do it again. So really, really useful bunch of continuous traps. They all do the job. As I said, in the future we're getting 2 new cards. I believe it's a monster and a spell. If we get any more continuous traps, that will make the deck even better. But that is it for the Argostar cards. It's not a very big engine because it isn't much to play, to be honest with you. If you were going to max out the engine size, you'd play 1 more of each trap, and even then that's not big at all. For the consistency here, triple small world. As I said before, it is crucial that you see your monster because it's the only one that you do play, because it's the only one that's available at the moment. So Small World is amazing. Basically, if you don't know what it does, is you reveal a monster from your hand, so a hand trap, and then you bridge. It's referred to as bridge between different attributes, stats, and types to then add any monster from your deck to your hand that it has the applicable restrictions that you've set yourself up with this card. So it basically acts as 3 rotors in a way by pitching a card. So really, really nice card. A bridge that we do play, which is kind of funny. You haven't seen this card in years. Get ready for this. I'll give you a chance to guess. Okay, you're wrong. It's actually no material, guys. Why are we playing no material as a bridge? First of all, if we draw this card, it's a hand trap. It's perfectly fine. This is our 16th hand trap. It was very hyped to be very good. It's not that good, to be honest with you. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can discard this card, target a face-up monster your opponent controls that turn. It cannot be used as any type of material for fusion, synchro, exceed, or link. or tributed, so it's good. However, that's not game breaking. Why we do play it, it's a Earth with 0 attack. And that means that with any of our hand traps or with this in hand, we can bridge into our monster with Small World. And if we draw it, it's okay, to be honest with you. So that is why you play it. I bet you haven't seen that card in a hot minute. Original print, first ed, still have my copies, got rinsed on them, still have them. It's never a loss unless you sell. Shout out to Mark. We have triple Upstart Goblin because 37 card deck with Rota, with Small World, going to help our chances of playing the game because we really do need to see that monster to play the game. Yes, we're giving our opponent life. However, remember, we are burning our opponent every time we summon a continuous trap with the field spell. So the life gain isn't that relevant, to be honest with you. We have 1 Call by the Grave, and we have 1 Reinforcement of the Army. So obviously to stop hand traps, if they're going to Veiler or do anything to our Argostar's cut monster, we need to sort of prevent that. And we have 1 Reinforcement of the Army, as it's a warrior. One thing I forgot to mention before is that this deck can win really, really easily in time. Because as I said, with the traps and the field spell, you can burn or gain life, and you can do that turn 1. So in time, this deck is perfectly fine. It's one of the advantages this deck has, that in time, it has a really, really good time. Pun not intended. And Upstart Goblin, obviously, don't use that in time unless you want to lose the game. And for the other continuous support, we have double Angel Statue Azarun. I'm going to show you the other one now because it's actually a proxy and it's easier if I just show them individually. We have double Angel Statue Azarun, and this card's really good. Remember, this card doesn't actually need to send itself. It can send 1 continuous trap in the monster zone that was special summoned. So it doesn't have to send itself to do the monster negation. It can send any of the other Argostar's cards and just pick it back up with a field spell, which is amazing. But if you don't know what this card does, you summon it, and then you negate a summon by either sending itself or another continuous trap. And if it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that's destroyed by battle, which is pretty nice. And it's 1818, and it's a level 4 light, so it kind of goes in theme. It's a fairy, though. For the last continuous trap here, I believe this is called Abyss of the Swamp Deity. I will be proxying it in. It's basically a way to have a negation, because if you have a continuous trap already on the field, you can just summon it and then negate the effects of a face-up card. This is how we play through Lightning Storm and Evenly and all Lightning and all, Raigeki and Harpies and all those board breakers that we don't like. We're going to just be able to stop it with the Abyss of the Swamp Deity. So that's why I play it. I just don't own the copy, so I'm trying to recite it by memory. I don't know if it's level 4 or not. Just don't quote me on that one. For the hand traps, one of the main appeals of the deck, yes, we can play Shifter. This is a Shifter deck. As you can see, we literally do not care about stuff in the graveyard, and the field spell can pick up from the banished pile anyway. So actually, we benefit if stuff is banished. So it's not too bad at all. Play Shifter, screw over the decks that need the graveyard. It's one of the main ways you can win with this deck. Just slow your opponent down to a state where you just Shifter them, they have to pass, and you can set up your stuff, and then they have to, even if you're going second, they pass, so effectively you went first with an extra card. And obviously going first, do your whole setup, Shifter them, and then just watch them cry. Another card we synergize really well with is Nibiru. You may be thinking, why? Remember, all our continuous traps can just place themselves back in the spell and trap zone. So you go activate Nibiru, and you ask for a response. Your opponent hasn't got any, or maybe they do, or whatever. And then you go traps, chain 2, 3, 4, whatever. Put them all back, tribute everything, summon Nibiru, and then you can just resummon your traps again. So Nibiru and Shifter obviously go really, really well with this deck. And I haven't seen a lot of people play Nibiru, and I'm like, why? The interaction is so free. For normal hand traps to help bridge and to stop our opponent, we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, because it's just very, very good. And Mourner, these serve as not only good hand traps, but also a way to bridge with no material and Small World. What you don't know, what they share with no material is just the attack. They don't share the attribute, they don't share the level, and they don't share the defense. And they don't share the type either. So perfect targets to bridge with no material. Obviously, no material can bridge into them if you open it in hand. So really, really nice. And you could play, for example, another Ghost Girl. I play triple Imperm instead. However, if you want a Small World more consistently, play another 3 copies of a Ghost Girl, and you'll have even more ways to bridge into your Argostar's monster. However, Imperm, I think, is just too good not to play. So that is the main deck. It is 40 cards. I hope I did a good explanation, and I hope you guys can see some sort of potential here. Let's go now into the extra deck, and let me know your thoughts. Moving on into the extra deck, this is where we still do continue with the spice. Obviously, we play the 1 Silhouette Rabbit. This is like a custom card for decks that use continuous traps that summon themselves. And I see a lot of people say, yo, you need to play Link Spider. Correct me if I'm wrong. From what I've understood, the traps are considered as effect monsters, and this says 2 effect monsters. So why do we need to change our trap into a Link Spider? Can we even do that? So we're not playing Link Spider, we're playing the Silhouette Rabbit. Obviously, if you don't know what this card does, is that it can't be destroyed by battle because it's an illusion. And once per turn, you can set a continuous trap from your deck that has an effect of special summon. So any of your Argostar traps, or your Azarun, or even your Abyss of the Swamp Deity. And when you summon a continuous trap once per turn, it's going to be a spell and trap pop, which is really nice as well. So this deck can abuse Silhouette Rabbit. Sometimes it's just better to keep the traps in rotation. However, if you open multiple, yes, you can just link them away, get a rabbit, and then just continue playing anyway. I remember the stuff in the grave you pick back up with the field spell, so it's absolutely fine. And the field spell isn't once per turn, so pay 1,000, grab something, put another field spell, pay 1,000, grab something. It's really free. We have 1 SP Little Knight, which obviously bridges very well with our IP Masquerena. Yes, we're going to be trying to play the game and win games, so we are playing good cards in SP. It's not that expensive anymore anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. This deck, I would say, is a budget deck. However, it does play Typhon, which is kind of expensive. Cut Typhon out, and this is definitely a budget deck. Everything is just super cheap. The Argostars are literally, people just don't want them. They throw them away. Give them to me, I'll take them. IP, 2 non-link monsters, quick effect link, go into SP on summon, banish, and then on quick effect, banish temporarily until the end phase, 2 monsters, which is really nice. We have 1 Nightmare Phoenix for back row hate. You can sometimes have annoying back rows if Mask of Restrict is up. Not Mask of Restrict, sorry. If there's any trap that stops continuous traps, or like, what was that card called? There's a card called that negates that. You can out it with your Phoenix. I can't remember, not Mask of Restrict, but something like that. And it just basically screws you over. So you play Nightmare Phoenix and you get rid of it. For the Xyzs, we play Zeus and Typhon. These are very good. We play a lot of Xyz monsters, so Zeus is very understandable. And Typhon, again, we can manipulate our field so easily by putting back traps. So we just pick the one that we want on the Typhon and boop, slap it on top. And really, really cool. I really like this deck. It's actually very unique. It just needs more. Konami, give us more, man. Give us more. For the other Xyzs, we play the Utopia package because sometimes getting over stuff that's huge is a big problem until the new monster comes out, because it gains 700 per, I believe, continuous trap in the grave or on the field. It gets absolutely huge. That is a way to out it, but until then, we need to be playing stuff that can out stuff that has 5,000 or less attack, which is this. Time Thief Redoer, which is hilarious in this deck because you can always get the bounce and the banish till the end phase. That's absolutely amazing, and it's great disruption off the top of your opponent's deck. Just snipe something important, hopefully. It's a spell, you get the draw, you get the bounce, and you get to basically keep this on the field, so it's really, really nice. 1 Baguska, just to slow things down if you need, just floodgate your opponent. Same thing can be said for the Abyss Dweller, just probably the Xyz of the format, maybe going to be banned. If it's banned, it sucks for this deck, but you can go without it, just slap any other rank 4 inside. We play 1. I'm testing out the Eclipse Twins. I'm not going to lie, it doesn't come up that much because it never comes up that often that you have a situation with 2 Xyzs. But if it does, you can go into Eclipse Twins and you can punish your opponent and then reborn something if they get outed. 1 Dugaris gives you options, and in a deck like this, you need options. You never know what situation you're going to be in. Draw cards, special summon a monster from the graveyard, or you can also double the attack of 1 monster you control until the end of the turn. These are really good options to have, and in a deck like this, if you're going to go for a kill shot, you really need to be sure you can kill them, because then you really do suffer if you miss the kill shot, as you have adjusted your plays to do that. Something hilarious is number 103, Ragnar Zero. People forget this card exists. This card is hilarious with your Argostar card. Make something 0 and then Ragnar Zero it. Pop it and draw a card. Yes, please. And since your traps all boost the attack of warrior monsters, you can even do your own. You can't do your own stuff, but if your opponent has any warrior monsters, their attack will be boosted, and that helps with the Ragnar Zero pops as well. So it's really cool. And then we have the 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, just as a mini board wipe. If our opponent gets too carried away, hey, calm down, Exciton, you got to out it now, or you got a big problem on your hands, and it just equalizes the board state. So that is my Argostars deck profile. Let me know if you guys enjoyed. Let me know if I did a good job. I see a lot of profiles that are aimed towards very casual players, which, yes, I agree, this is a casual deck. However, I did try to make it as meta as possible while using a rogue strategy, because that's what we do here at Rogue Tier. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. If you've seen my beautiful face or heard my amazing voice before, make sure to leave a like and also leave a comment down below. What do you think of the Argostar deck right now? And what do you think of the support that is coming out soon? I'm Rogta here, and I'll catch you all in the next video.
It's time! Let's go!